Now at 4, the movement to eat less meat is taking the world by storm.
7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee is here in the studio with all the details on this, Diane.
Yeah, Amy and Taylor, I'm going to tell you all about that. Other consumer news too today, a major network upgrade with Verizon. It means that more than 1 million local customers now have faster cell and home internet service. The company has increased bandwidth and added more coverage area in the upstate. And it not only means faster speeds for people in Greenville, but now expands access to cities like Pickens, Seneca, Greenwood, and 96. Not just for cell, but for home internet, which starts at $25 a month. Might want to look into it. Verizon also upgraded the network at Clemson's campus, so users have faster upload times during the games. And if you received a check in the mail over the last few weeks with a notice saying that it was part of the Santee Cooper settlement, cash it, folks. That is a legitimate check. Some customers of electric cooperatives are getting a second round of checks based on who paid utility bills that included payments for the construction of nuclear plants that were never completed. Well, just when you thought it was over, Spartanburg County's penny sales tax may be hanging around a bit longer, but you might like the reason why. County Council is debating asking voters to decide if that tax should continue right now. Now, the first penny sales tax was approved by voters back in November of 2017. Money collected from it was then used to build projects like the courthouse, as we know, in the area. And now this 1 cent tax would go towards fixing county roads.
It would make a huge, fast difference in the road conditions that we currently drive on. And that's what most of the people are asking and pleading for.
And officials project that the 6-year tax would generate $478 million. The next step is for a committee to be formed, a presentation to council, and then a council vote. All of this needs to be done by August 15th to get on the ballot. The current penny sales tax runs out in April of 2024. Well, you probably heard of meatless Mondays, maybe even vegan before 6. That was a new one to me. More consumers are making food choices, though, with stability and sustainability in mind, as companies take steps to reduce their carbon footprints. Brian Cateman's typical lunch is completely different than what he used to eat.
I am making a lentil mushroom soup.
He largely cut out meat after learning how damaging it is for the environment. Nearly 15% of all greenhouse emissions come from meat production.
It takes a lot of resources. You think of the land, you think of the water, you think all the food you have to feed to the animals.
Cateman turned his own curiosity about eating less meat into a documentary and coined the term reducitarian, meaning cutting back, not cutting out.
I think it's a more tolerable idea to cut back rather than necessarily go vegan or vegetarian.
While there's no single standard for carbon footprint labeling, some restaurant chains are touting their efforts right on their menus.
It's a competitive advantage for companies to be seen as at the forefront of doing something about climate change.
Panera identifies its low-carbon entrees with a cool food meal symbol, and Just Salad offers a climatarian filter on its app.
There's going to be more carbon footprint labeling on food, and I think it's going to be a factor in how consumers make choices about what to eat.
For Cateman, it starts with a swap.
I eat the same foods that I love, but I just swap in plant-based ingredients.
Making the idea of eating less meat a lot easier to digest. Now, a 2022 Earth Day report found that 80% of consumers had some awareness of the connection between food choice and the environment. By the year 2030, the report predicts that routine food choices will be climate directed. Amy?
Thank you, Diane. Coming up next on 7 News, a new bill is advancing aimed at helping South Carolinians find a job as lawmakers look for solutions to boost the state's labor force.